This is the fifth take of this. Either some forces out there don't want me to get this out, or I should probably just stop recording now. Either way, I'm Mr. Man. Welcome to my channel. I provide information on cryptocurrencies, real estate, and financial happenings as they're happening there. Please like, please subscribe, and please share this content here, because you will not get content like this on many others, if any other channel that I've seen, at least based off of the people that I see. Everybody brings their own unique flair to this space, but you're not going to get it like mine with regards to a regulatory guidance perspective on how things are going down in the crypto world. Recently Ripple had come out with a statement stating that they're introducing a USD-backed stablecoin, right? And I didn't want to just read headlines to you guys. I wanted to bring information. That's what I do, not just reading an article and the end. Anybody can read an article. What I want to do is give you a holistic view about what's going on and how this is going to happen. So here we have the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse here. Launching a stablecoin is a natural step for Ripple as we bridge the gap between traditional finance and crypto. We have 1, the years of experience, 2, regulatory footprint, 3, a strong balance sheet, and 4, network with a near global payout coverage. Near global payout coverage. That means they're connected to many different fast payment systems, many different central banks, many different individual point of sales operators to offer the best of crypto-enabled payments using XRP and our future stablecoin together. Okay?
Ripple has been through. People want to talk about the SEC. So that's been a big theme, and I think that is an important theme for every entrepreneur who wants to operate in the United States right now. The other big theme that I think has kind of been underplayed a little bit, I think the stablecoin market remains perplexing in some ways. And what's going to happen with CBDCs, what's going to happen with regulation of stablecoins, what's going on with Tether, what's going on with the change in USDC, which I'm not an expert at. But those are the two kind of bigger themes. I will also say for me, the energy here, I don't know if just the experience of getting to this stage. I mean, it is packed. Like, people talk about it's crypto winter. There's a muted crypto excitement, and that's not what I'm feeling.
We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We going all in like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves.
Ripple to issue USD-backed stablecoin, bringing more utility and liquidity to the XRPL. This came out yesterday. Ripple, the leading provider of enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions, announced its plan to launch a stablecoin pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar. What is that? That's a derivative. A derivative is, this phone has money, so I'm going to write a paper note for you and saying, here, this note is worth the value of this phone. And as long as the other person believes that, and you believe that, then this is a fair deal. It's a fair deal. I've given you a note worth the amount of the phone, and you can go and purchase something with it as long as the other person believes it has value. So now we have a derivative. Ripple stablecoin will be 100% backed by US dollar deposit, short-term US government treasuries, and other cash equivalents. These reserve assets will be audited by a third-party accounting firm, and Ripple will publish monthly attestations. I wasn't able to find what the auditing requirements were for an individual such as the playing field that Ripple plays in. Couldn't find that, but as it seems right now to me, whatever the requirements are, Ripple is going above and beyond, possibly beyond and possibly above. But they are definitely meeting expectations, guaranteed. Because I know with Circle has USDC, they also provide monthly attestations for a stablecoin. So that might be the industry standard, monthly attestations. The stablecoin market is about 150 billion today and is forecasted to exceed 2.8 trillion by 2028, 4 years. There's clear demand for stablecoins that deliver trust, stability, and utility. To meet this growing demand, Ripple will issue a stablecoin leveraging its decade plus of experience building real-world financial solutions for institutions around the world. This is a natural step for Ripple to begin bridging the gap between traditional finance and crypto, said Brad, as we had just read. Institutions entering this space are finding success by partnering with compliant crypto native players, and Ripple's track record and resiliency speak for itself. As we launch new products and acquire companies through multiple market circles, the move is also monumental for XRPL community, driving more use cases, liquidity, and opportunities for developers and users. At launch, the stablecoin will be available on the XRPL and ETH blockchains, with plans to expand to additional blockchains and decentralized DeFi protocols and apps over time. Issuing our stablecoin on the XRPL and ETH will serve as a pivotal entry point to unlock new opportunities for institutional and DeFi use cases across multiple ecosystems, added Monica Long, the president of Ripple. The XRPL native capabilities, including a decentralized exchange and automated market maker, were built to utilize XRP as the bridge asset. Okay, the bridge asset. XRPL features spotlight the powering of auto bridging. In the world of on-chain finance, liquidity is key. The XRPL was built for DeFi use cases to enable seamless flow of value transfer across multiple currencies or assets. However, in order to achieve efficient cross-asset transactions, it required solving the challenge of fragmented liquidity pools. In some use cases, asset pairs involving less commonly used assets lack direct liquidity. So a small island, maybe, or like exotic currencies. I don't know what an exotic currency is yet, but there are places in the world that might have these new stable coins or a CBDC, probably not a CBDC, probably a stable coin being issued there. Like the Palau stable coin is now an exotic stable coin because it was just US before. Now there's this Palau currency. This is an exotic currency. So the liquidity for a liquidity pool for that may not be as big or as fast as people think it will be yet. It's like having euros in the United States, but not being able to find a currency exchange to the USD. All right. This led to the inception of auto bridging feature on the XRPL decentralized exchange, or the DEX. The XRPL DEX is built directly into the protocol, right in the protocol, providing on-chain liquidity for numerous currency pairs. Native functionality such as auto bridging allows asset transfers to the XRPL to access the DEX existing liquidity to create synthetic order books for assets. Auto bridging as the XRP as the native and universal bridge currency on the XRPL. While not new to the XRPL, auto bridging is a unique feature on the DEX that utilizes XRP as the native currency to facilitate trade between any two assets on the ledger. As the native currency on XRPL, XRP inherently is counterparty free. Doesn't need a counterparty. It does its own. It performs its own swaps, right? It performs its own pathfinding, I believe it is, to get to the next liquidity provider that will be needed to complete this transaction. Auto bridging capitalizes on this by automatically considering XRP as a bridge currency to find the most efficient trading route across assets. One of the key use cases for auto bridging is enabling efficient trading of stablecoins on the XRPL. Stablecoins, which are designed to minimize volatility by being pegged to a stable asset like the US dollar, are crucial for many DeFi applications, like the new Palau stablecoin. Hypothetically, let's say you want to buy an EUR or Euro stablecoin using a US dollar stablecoin, but there isn't a large direct market between the two. Auto bridging allows your trade to tap into liquidity from other markets by automatically finding the most efficient path for that trade, which could leverage XRP or other assets as bridge currencies. For example, depending on the market dynamics, when you want to make the transaction, the feature could execute your USD to EUR trade by first converting USD to XRP and then XRP to EUR on the back end at that point. So XRP acts as the bridging currency from this currency to this currency. It's just a quick swap because this thing allowed that to happen. Okay. While it was doing that swap, it was pathfinding and everything else to find that liquidity pool or whatever else was needed to come back down, swap, and they convert to the currency that's needed. Auto bridging also enables market makers on the XRPL DEX to more easily scale their activity by providing liquidity for NXRP pairs. Market makers can effectively serve liquidity for the order of n to the power of 2, is that? Power of 2 n squared pairs through the synthetic combinations created by auto bridging. If they take advantage of that technique to make markets, they can scale to cover more currency combinations on the DEX. Moving on. So, Ripple is coming out with a currency, a USD-backed currency, stablecoin. And you're curious if Ripple has what, in terms of legality, do they have everything they need to operate a stablecoin backed by the US to function correctly? Will Ripple be staying in the US to operate this USD currency, or will they be operating outside of the US at a country or island that utilizes US? I'm not sure. There might be a cross-border barrier that exists for that. I don't know yet. I'm still learning that. So Ripple's Market DE LLC is licensed in the following US jurisdictions here. So here are all the licenses Ripple has in these jurisdictions. This is in the US, okay? Let's go down the list. I'll let you read it. Pause it if you want to. I'm just going to go down right to the bottom just so you get an idea. And I'm going to continue talking just so you're not bored looking at this. I don't have music or elevator music, none of that stuff. Just me talking in your eardrum. Okay, you get the point, right? So Ripple has the licenses necessary to operate within these places. Within all these places. Let me go see if they have, did they have New York? They don't have New York here, not yet. No, because they took that one off. Did they? Did they? Yeah, they took that one off, that's right. At the NYDFS. Okay. So in terms of regulations here now, the EU markets crypto assets, MiCA, regulation provides long-needed legal clarity for the crypto market. As the complex landscape of crypto regulations continue to evolve, it is becoming increasingly urgent for credit institutions and electronic money institutions to seek expert guidance. This is especially true during the transitional phase of MiCA's implementation, as regulated entities will be the first to be scrutinized under the regulation. To ensure a smooth transition and compliance with the new standards, it is essential that all participants in the crypto market seek professional counsel. MiCA is about stable coins, specifically about stable coins. This does not include smart contracts and NFTs. This is just about stable coins. Evaluation of the company's own technical capabilities. So this is now what the company has to evaluate themselves to be able to perform, to adhere to what MiCA states that these individuals need to do. So individual technological capabilities for stablecoin issuance, procurement of an existing issuance infrastructure, acquisition of CASP or crypto asset service provider for the creation of infrastructure. This is what's required of the individuals who have these stablecoins. A preparation of the white paper. I don't have the white paper yet for this particular stablecoin that they will be issuing, but I have a white paper that Ripple had put out with Juniper Research. Juniper Research is one of the leading industry leaders in terms of, I guess, what's happening in the crypto industry realm. This here was an Understanding CBDC and Stablecoin put out by Ripple and Juniper. I just had the opportunity to go through it this morning, last night and this morning. Really well done. The stablecoin portion of it is really short. They speak more to CBDCs. In this one here, But it's a really interesting concept on how they're viewing stablecoins and CBDCs. And then at the end, it talks a bit more about Juniper and who they are and trying to take in as much as you can on a run. So back to where we are. Evaluation of corporate and governance arrangements. I'm sure they'll have that out there. Establish adequate tokenomics. Haven't seen any of these yet. Evaluation of conflicts of interest. Haven't seen this yet. I don't know anything else about this stablecoin other than the treasuries. Evaluation of establishment of cooperations with third parties. Strategy for offering the e-money tokens to the public. Consideration of possible trading platform for the e-money token. I don't know any of these strategies yet. Here is the timeline for the implementation, going back to the 2020 when EU had the proposal for MiCA, and then November to March, agreement by the Council, and then by the EU Parliament, political agreement on the text, and trilogue negotiations in June 2022. Then finally entered into force June 29th, 2023, last year. Consultation phase and gradual publication of implementations. So by ESMA and EBA. EBA are the individuals who have governance over stable coins in the EU and the UK? EU, I believe it's the EU. European Banking Authority. 2024 is when that stablecoins drop. Then we have with the in December 30th, 2024, entry into application with an 18-month entry into force. That's what I was just explaining prior, with the exception of the provision on stablecoins, which will enter into application June 30th. And then June 30th, 2026 is the end of the transitional period for the registered and authorized DASPs. Or for the services not subject to mandatory registration. So I want to show you guys this quick video here. This is Brad talking about stablecoins at Token 49. This is in Singapore last year. Check this out.
People has been through. People want to talk about the SEC. So that's been a big theme, and I think that is an important theme for every entrepreneur who wants to operate in the United States right now. The other big theme that I think has kind of been underplayed a little bit, I think the stablecoin market remains perplexing in some ways. And what's going to happen with CBDCs, what's going to happen with regulation of stablecoins, what's going on with Tether, what's going on with the change in USDC, which I'm not an expert at. But those are the two kind of bigger themes. I will also say for me, the energy here. I don't know if just the experience of getting to this stage. I mean, it is packed. Like people talk about it's crypto winter. There's a muted crypto excitement, and that's not what I'm feeling.
Okay, well maybe I can think about it in a different way. The technologies that we're talking about today, how many do you think we'll be talking about in the future?
Well, look, I think stablecoins are absolutely here to stay, and whether or not it's just Tether and USDC, I don't know. I think there'll be other major players entering that market. I mean, we saw PayPal play in that game. So I think the stablecoin category is absolutely here to stay. I think what's going on in the tokenization of assets, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in there. Tokenization of debt, tokenization of securities, tokenization of real estate, tokenization of art. I'm a big believer in those categories. Ripple has invested. Ripple's invested over $500 million in over 60 companies, and we will continue to play offense there.
Something that you can answer more clearly, since you do have some investment in CBDCs, but when are you going to move into stablecoins?
Yes.
When?
Yes. Look, I think the stablecoin market is fascinating. Ripple, at our core, we are a payments infrastructure company. We use stablecoins today. We use XRP when it's appropriate. We use stablecoins when it's appropriate. We're solving customer problems. Will we do or say more than that? Not today.
And that day has come because now Ripple has a stablecoin. So what I'm moving on to now is the faster payments services, or the faster payment systems. Because right now what we have set up is this. Let me show you how that structure looks. My man Chad put this out. I was thinking of creating this, and then he did it. What I'd like to do next is put the connectors to show and illustrate which faster payment systems are connected to which in which countries. I think that would add so much value to this. So what the world map real-time payment settlement systems, working on visualization, then linked up. So he's looking at the same thing I'm doing too then. If he gets it out first, even better. So these are all the faster payments systems that are out there now, and Ripple has ties to majority of all these. So they're all individual silos, individual islands, if you will, within their jurisdiction that they operate. They are not connected up for cross-border payments yet to the individual other fast border payments. I think in the BRICS region itself, Africa doesn't have connectivity outside yet. India has it to China. China has it to everybody in the BRICS nations, but certain other members only have various connectors. So that's what I'm going to be discussing right now, because stablecoins are coming out in June. Ripple now has a stablecoin. They are going to be trying to catch up with what's going on. There we go. So this is it here by the World Economic Forum, shaping the future of cross-border fast payment system. And this discussing linking those fast payment systems up, as I was just showing you. So just scrolling down, Southeast Asia. This is actually a really good fact here. Let me show you this, okay? Just really quickly. So here we have Triangle. Triangle levels up with Ripple to power cross-border payments in Southeast Asia. Check this out, okay? This is sweet. I found this out yesterday. So this is what I had stated here. In April 2021, Ripple began planning expansion into 40% of Southeast Asia utilizing Triangle. Also in 2021, according to the WEF, which is a document we're going through, Southeast Asia fast payments went live. That's what this states here. Okay, by connecting these systems, the central banks aim to extend domestic convenience to cross-border payments within Southeast Asia. After extensive planning, the prompt pay now linkage, which is what we're going to be reading about, went live in April 2021. The linkage uses domestic fast payments rails and proxies the recipient's mobile phone number. So it uses phone numbers to send the messages back and forth. That's the proxy. So let's get back. Here is the headline there. Ripple plans major South Asia expansion by buying 40% of Triangle. And then look at what happened. Look at what happened for XRP. XLM is similar. In 2021, April 1st, 2021, look at what happened. XRP had shot up to $1.97. Okay, let's get back to the World Economic Forum PDF here. And here they're talking about, all right, the rise of the cashless economy, fast payment system in Southeast Asia. So that's what we're looking into. And the learning lessons from this. Here are all the faster payment systems there. I had just shown you on the map. Thank you, Chad, for doing that. Very much appreciated. Looking forward to the next one when it comes out with all the linkages there. So case study, the prompt pay now cross-border payments linkage between Thailand and Singapore. So this is what I want to see here. The lessons learned from the implementation of prompt pay now. So the prompt pay linkage represents an important milestone proving the viability of connecting domestic fast payment systems across borders. The project faced complexities, but through structured collaboration, stakeholders in Thailand and Singapore successfully delivered a world-first linkage that meets customer needs for convenience, accessibility, and affordable cross-border payments. And you saw the result of that. XRP has shot up. This, I'm not saying it's, I'm just saying this seems to be an awesome correlation to me. Could be a coincidence. I don't know. I'm just learning and putting the pieces together here, okay? I'm not suggesting anything. The different stakeholders involved in this project provided several lessons learned, which they believe could be valuable to other countries looking to implement similar cross-border linkages between their payment systems. They can be grouped into the following 5 key overarching categories. Governance is one, technical standards, regulations, testing, and collaborations. Let's just go through this. So for governance, establishing robust governance and project management structures. This is what's involved in connecting these faster payment systems. The project established clear governance and project management structures up front. A steering committee of senior central bank officials provide oversight and directions. Project management offices in each country facilitate working groups covering business, technical, and legal regulatory issues. Domestic operators, settlement banks, and commercial banks from both countries collaborated closely. Strong governance and structured project management enabled alignment across multiple stakeholders. Technical standards, allowing flexibility and in technical standards. So allowing flexibility in TS ensures adaptability to unforeseen challenges, promotes collaborations, and facilitates the integration of evolving technologies to meet dynamic project needs. To streamline cross-border peer-to-peer fund transfers, BCS and ITM, the two countries' systems operators, devised a gateway using the ISO 2022 as the message benchmark, a gateway. So we're talking about a gateway. So here we're on Finastra's website. This is December 14th, 2021. RippleNet via Fusion Total Messaging. So Fusion Total Messaging manage cross-border payments easier with RippleNet via Fusion Total Messaging. What is it? Today, global banks and corporations manage millions of payments messages in message warehouses around the world. RippleNet via Fusion Total Messaging allows existing bank systems to route payments efficiently, leveraging instant settlement to transact in seconds instead of days. Okay. So we have that. We have Ripple here connected with Swift, or Fusion, sorry, my apologies. Fusion connected with Swift. Fusion Total Messaging, simplified Swift and connectivity and financial messaging. So it looks like we have somewhat of a gateway set up here. Let's just continue to the gateway sheet here. So I'm on Finastra's here still. Total messaging. We saw total messaging via RippleNet. Fusion Total Messaging. Here's a real-time gateway through Finastra. With the pace of life continuing to accelerate and real-time commerce fast becoming 24/7 reality, customers are increasingly demanding real-life digital payment experiences. The future of payments, known as immediate payments, instant payments, or real-time payments, RTP, is set to meet this demand. Soon, consumers and corporations will be able to immediately transfer money from one account to another at any time with certainty, convenience, and at a low cost. In the next 2 decades, over 75 countries are expected to develop real-time payment schemes to deliver real-time payment services to their customers in these countries. Financial institutions need to provide connectivity to these schemes. Existing gateway architectures and technologies are not easily adaptable to real-time, round-the-clock messaging. Instead, financial institutions are realizing that they need new specialized gateway connectivity based on new technology that operates 24/7, 365 availability and smoothly handles large transaction volumes in how long? Milliseconds. Large-scale transactions in milliseconds. Real-time payment is a key pillar of Finastra's global vision and solution suite. Finastra's real-time gateway solution is already used by our U.S. clients to connect to the clearinghouse network in the U.S. and is one of the first to be certified by SIA for EBA clearing. Right, we're talking about EBA, the stablecoins. Okay, clearing SCT, instant platform RT1 in Europe. Finastra is actively involved in discussions around the globe as more countries look to adopt real-time payments, such as the faster payment scheme in Hong Kong. The faster payment scheme in Hong Kong right now, what they will be utilizing soon after connectivity and this goes live is mBridge. And with the mBridge, you can use what's known as an mCBDC, which is a multi-CBDC. This architecture still eludes me, the concept of it. So I still need to dive into that. I have concepts in my head, but I want to make sure I present the information as it needs to be. Here we are on the ESMA site. provision of crypto asset services by certain financial entities. The background here for MiCA, ISMA shall, in close cooperation with the EBA, which we were speaking about, the European Banking Authority, develop draft regulatory technical standards to further specify the information referred to in paragraph 7. ISMA shall submit the draft regulatory technical standards referred to in the first subparagraph to Commission by the 30th of June 2024, which is the stablecoin regulations, which is under Article 60.14 of MiCA. So ISMA shall, in close cooperation with EBA, develop draft implementation to technical standards to establish standard forms, templates, and procedures for the information to be included, notification pursuant to paragraph 7. I wanted to give you guys some context into who the EBA is, so that way they're not just a acronym to you, the European Banking Authority. So overview: role to build a single regulatory and supervisory framework for the entire EU banking sector. Chairperson is Jose Manuel Campa. The executive director is Francois Louis Macad. This thing was set up in 2011. They have 208 staff located in Paris, and the website is there for the EBA. So the EBA is the EU agency tasked with implementing a standard set of rules to regulate and supervise banking across all EU countries. It aims to create an efficient, transparent, and stable single market in EU banking products. So ISMA shall submit the draft implementing. Let me show you who ISMA is, so just so you know. Okay, so for ISMA, here I am on their webpage now, the European Securities and Market Authority. These are their working methods. This is for the Board of Supervisors. Within ISMA, the Board of Supervisors makes all the policy decisions of ISMA and approves all work done by ISMA, which will be mainly at level 2, 3, and 4. The Board of Supervisors is composed of the heads of 27 national authorities, with observers from Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway. From the European Commission, a representative of the European Banking Authority, the EBA, and the European Insurance and Occupational Pension Authority, and one representative of the European Systemic Risk Board. Voting by the Board of Supervisions will be undertaken in a simple majority basis, 1 vote per national member. Okay, so that's who ISMA is. ISMA is big players in this. Let's go back. Article 60 sets forth the notifications if required. Where was I? Hold on a second. So, if Ripple was operating within the EU, they are working with the DEA, Digital European Association, and the DFP, Digital Pound Foundation, DPF. There we go. They would have to follow these rules or regulations here. So Article 60 of MiCA provides for the requirements, and I'm not sure what US is yet, if they're going to be following this framework here, or if they have something different in mind. For the application of authorization as a CASP, crypto asset service provider, more particularly Article 60 of MiCA obliges legal persons or other undertakings that intend to provide crypto asset services to submit their application for an authorization as a CASP to the NCA and their home member states. Ripple already has licenses, money business licenses within the 50 states of the US already. Article 60, number 2 of MiCA sets out the information that such an application must contain, which encompasses inter alia the following elements: information about the identity of the applicant CASP, including the legal name and other commercial name used by the applicant. So I'm sure if you went looking for them in the EU, you would find these. The legal entity identifier, the LEI. My guy Smoke posts all about these things. Go check his page out, of the applicant and the website operated by the applicant. A program of operations. These are for the stablecoin issuers, okay? This is what this is for. This is the outline they need to follow, the criteria of what they must adhere to. A program of operations setting out the types of crypto asset services that the applicant CASP intend to provide, including where and how those services are to be marketed. Proof that the applicant CASP meets the requirement for prudential safeguards set out in Article 67 of MiCA. A description of the applicant CASP governance, arrangements, and internal control mechanisms, including procedures to comply with AML and CFT. All right, those are the biggest things there. Proof that members of the management body of the applicant CASP are of sufficiently good repute and possesses the appropriate knowledge, skills, and experience to manage a CASP. So not just anybody can just create their own stablecoin. The identity of any natural or legal persons that have qualifying holdings in the applicant CASP, the amount of those holdings, and proof that those persons are of sufficiently good repute. So you have to be in good standings with whatever the standards are. Like if you're going to be a police officer, you can't, kill somebody and steal your entire life, and then 10 years later be like, you know what, I've changed my life around, I'm going to become a cop. You will not become a cop, right? Just what it is. Your history stays with you. Unfortunately, that's how life goes. A description of the procedures for the segregation of clients, crypto assets, and the funds where the applicant CASP intends to provide custody and administration of crypto assets on behalf of clients, a description of the custody and administration policy, a description of the applicant CASP complaints handling procedure, the technical documentation of the information and communication technology, or the ICT systems and security arrangements, where the applicant CASP intends to provide the services of execution in order for crypto assets on behalf of the client, a description of the execution policy, where the applicant CASP intends to provide the services of exchange of crypto assets for funds and other crypto assets, a description of the commercial policy. Cool. So that's what's required. That's what's required. Here we are at PwC now. All right, this is PwC. Overview for 2023 regarding stablecoins. Just to give you guys an idea of who PwC is, PwC back in the day praises Ripple's XRP as an example of the cryptocurrency maturing. The 4-second transaction settlement for cross-border payment by XRP has gained a lot of traction from the market. More and more banks are considering what Ripple has to offer for them, and some of them will certainly use the cryptos to make their cross-border transactions more efficient, cheaper, and faster. Will certainly use it. Now, one of the latest comments comes from Henry Arslanian, a crypto leader at PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. According to him, Ripple and its XRP token are a great example of how the future of cryptos can be, because the company already has many players and it is being able to move forward its Swift-like systems. On Wikipedia here, PwC International Limited is a multinational professional services brand of firms operating as partners under the PwC brand. It is the second largest professional service network in the world and is considered one of the biggest 4 accounting firms, along with Deloitte, EY, and KPMG. PwC firms are in 157 countries across 742 locations and 328,000 people as of 2019. As of 2019, I just showed you that partnership with Ripple and PwC. 26% of the workforce was based in the Americas, 26 in Asia, 32 in Western Europe, and 5% in Middle East and Africa. The company's global revenues were $50.3 billion in fiscal year 2022, of which $18 billion was generated in its assurance practice, $11.6 billion by its tax legal practice, and $20 billion by its advisory practice. That's who PwC is. So they're writing about the maturity of stablecoins. Let's continue. So here we are at not a global view, but an overview of future of stablecoins and regulatory expectations. Here's the NYDFS there. While U.S. lawmakers deliberate over a federal framework for stablecoins, New York State continues to approve stablecoin issuance by its licenses and has published guidance setting standards for risk management and audits. Okay, in Singapore here, I had spoken about Singapore stablecoin. In a previous video, so in August 2023, MAS announced a new regulatory framework aimed at ensuring stability for regulated stablecoins in Singapore. This framework applies to single currency stablecoins pegged to the Singapore dollar or any G10 currency, including the US dollar, issued in Singapore. The stablecoin issuance service becomes an additional payment service under the Payment Service Act of 2019. Stablecoin, or what do they call it, single currency stablecoins will continue to be subject to the existing regulatory regime under PS Act, which covers digital payments tokens and allows their issuance, use, and circulation within Singapore. So now we're going back to the fact that these are all fragmented, all these faster payment services. Stablecoins can be used, but stablecoin can only be used in its own jurisdiction still. Singapore has its own jurisdiction to use it. Canada has its own jurisdiction to use with it. There's no legislation that I've seen update yet for Canada, and there's none for US, definitely not yet. Even though the different states have their own, because they're all working under their own guise as opposed to a federal framework so far. In June 2023, the EU Markets and Crypto Act entered into force. We have gone through this here, where they're going to be issuing asset reference tokens known as ARTs and EMTs, e-money tokens known as e-money tokens. And that comes in June 30th, 2024 and implemented in June 2026. The UK, the government has made legislative changes to bring fiat-backed stablecoins used for payments into the regulatory perimeter. The changes also cover systemic payment systems and service providers. The immediate, and again, sorry, just going back here, this is Singapore, Southeast Asia, which we were talking about with the World Economic Forum and the faster payments connectivity. So into the regulatory perimeter, the changes also cover systemic payment systems and service providers. The immediate focus is on the regulation of issuers, custodians, and payment service providers for fiat-backed stablecoins used for payments. What am I at? 43 minutes now. Exchange and trading activities will be captured in Phase 2. The authorities and regulators are expected to consult on the specific roles in 2023. Navigating the global crypto landscape in 2024 is at this. Here we go. So IOSCO came out stating that published a consultation on global approach to address DeFi risk in September 23. IOSCO's recommendations apply to DeFi products, services, arrangements, and activities. In summary, regulators should apply the same activities, same risks, same regulatory outcome principles. Identify natural persons and entities, so business versus yourself, tax purposes there, of a purported DeFi arrangement or activity. Apply the IOSCO standards when supervising DeFi arrangements. Identify and address conflicts of interest, particularly those arising from different roles and capacities of the products and services offered by a particular provider and its affiliates. Require identification and addressing of material risk, including operational and technology risk. Require clear, accurate, and comprehensive disclosures. Enforcement applicable laws. Promote cross-border cooperation and information sharing. And which is GDPR, which is information sharing between US and EU. Understand and assess interconnections between the DeFi market and broader crypto asset market and traditional markets. Down below we have the BCBS, which is the Basel Committee on Banking Systems, and they're laying out the information with regards to Group 1 and Group 2 assets, which are divvied into traditional stablecoin or traditional assets, so essentially stablecoins, and stablecoins that are back or have a reference to a traditional asset, so something like gold, silver, real estate, something that can provide a stabilizing mechanism within that stablecoin. And that's Group 1 and Group 1A, Group 1B, and then you have Group 2, which would offer such things as algorithmic stablecoins and non-backed crypto assets, which have a risk-weighted percentage of 100, 2,050%. There we go. That one took a second. I don't know why. So here we have on the left Naveen Gupta. Where is it? Naveen Gupta. He's a former employee of Ripple. He was the head of the MENA region. He had just left there and went to work somewhere else. But listen to what he says, what the major use cases are and what they're expecting, okay? Listen to this. So this was put out in 2019. That's when he had this interview, right? So keep that in mind. He says in 5 more years. So that would take us to where we are right now as Mika's rolling in this implementation of stablecoins, and stablecoins are going to be implemented middle of the year and into 2025. So just skimming through and asking AI here now. So the foreign reserve assets of Palau consists of SDR holdings, special drawings rights on the reserve tranche positions in the IMF. Government deposits with resident banks are accessible as liquidity buffer and to meet external obligations, but are not considered reserve assets for balance of payment purposes. The closed loop pilot allowed the MOF to stay in control of the PSC issuance and distribution, with a maximum money in circulation equivalent to $20,000 US. These funds were directly distributed by the MOF with no possibility for any volunteers to pay in to obtain additional digital currencies. No, so that's all it was, just a closed ecosystem. There's a 20,000 US, that's it. Nothing else can be added. Nor was it possible for any other non-selected users to get hold of PSC. Moreover, all selected volunteers could only make payments, and only the participating local retailers were able to convert PSC to USD deposits in the commercial bank accounts. All volunteers and retailers volunteering to participate in the pilot signed a legal agreement with the MOF to use the PSC under the agreed conditions and to allow the MOF to monitor the transactions and collect any data available for analysis and statistical purposes. There's a lot in this here. I'm not going to continue to read though. I think that's going to be it for the day. I'm at just under the hour mark so I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation and learned a bit about Ripple stablecoin, the stablecoin concept through Palau, and the regulations that apply to each of these stablecoin providers known as CASPs, CASP, Crypto Asset Service Providers. I hope you guys found this informative, and I'll see you on the next one.
We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.